Testament
Really?
style approach.
Well, I was like, if you don't know the Old Testament, none of the New Testament even matters, right? Like,
Mm, I agree with that.
what, because in the New Testament, when they're talking about the scriptures, they're referring to the Old Testament that we know of, because they don't have the New Testament as being written, right? So nobody in the New Testament is turning to John. You know, they're
Right.
talking about the prophets and the Psalms and the Torah.
Hmm.
So anyway, I sold this as or advertised this to the community as a Genesis to Christ, like a full exposition to understand the full story. Right? I ended up having
Okay.
7 students, and after 9 months, we got all the way to the end of Genesis. That was it.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. That
And that was
sounds about
meeting.
right.
I was meeting every day. No, I'm sorry, every Tuesday for an hour, and we made it all the way to the end of Genesis after 9 months.
In how
So
in nine
much
months.
to
Yeah.
unpack. So
There's
much to unpack.
I'm surprised you made it through Genesis in nine
Well, that was
months.
skipping over a lot. Like this was a middle school era, so we know
Right.
we kept it middle school level, but just between Genesis 3, 6, and 11, and then of course 15. Those are like the initial fall, the Nephilim, the Tower of Babel, and then the promise to Abraham. There was so much to unpack
Yes.
that the fact that we made it to Joseph it was incredible. I was like, this could have been a full college lecture just on Genesis.
So
That
yeah,
to me,
absolutely. I'm
that
curious.
let me
I'm
know.
curious how these middle school kids accept it. Like, how did they receive it?
They seemed to receive it well. I mean, they were interested. They were asking questions. I try to make it a little more interactive. Like one day, I brought in Play-Doh, and I gave them all a lump of Play-Doh, and I said, "Create something in your image." Right, and that's all the instruction I gave them. I didn't tell them what that was supposed to be, right? And I was expecting some kids to create these, maybe just a caricature of themselves, or like I gotta create a statue of my bust, like.
Right.
And what I got was 7 different versions of what that meant. Some
Hmm.
person made it was like a butterfly or something, and it was talking about like this represents change, and it was actually really cool to me because it let me sort of segue into the biblical theological notion that creating something in your image isn't like a mimicry of attributes and
Yeah.
physicality. There's a lot more that goes into it, and so that ended up being a really cool lesson. But what it exposed in me was there was a lot there that I hadn't really transgressed before until I had to teach it, and so I ended up going back and getting my bachelor's degree, actually a multidisciplinary degree, and it was already had the business stuff done from the military. So I finished just 9 months of nothing but theological studies to have a bachelor's degree in business and theology.